Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. How we doing? How we doing? I am live. Okay. Yeah, we're live. And we're talking horror, baby. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. If you're hanging out with us for the first time, please like the stream and subscribe. That would mean a great deal to old Jake here. Because this is a lot of hard stuff. This is a lot of hard stuff we're doing here, so I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you. We're coming up on 40,000 subscribers. Would be pretty cool if we hit that goal sooner than later. Who knows? Anything could happen, though. But anyways, how we doing out there? Guys, it's time to talk a little Scream 8. It's Scream Monday, so we're getting a little screamy on this Monday. How we doing, everybody? Let me know your thoughts and theories regarding what is coming up in the world of Scream. That's the topic of the evening. So throw it out there. And also, if you got to see Ready or Not 2, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious. We got Peyton Ruark out there throwing $2 out into the chat. Thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Saying hello, Jake and everyone. How we doing on a Monday? It's a Monday, you know? We're getting through. We're making it happen. It's hopefully the work day is done for you at the very least. So now it's time to rest, to chill the heck out and vibe. Fingers crossed that's the case, right? But Peyton, thank you for supporting the page. I greatly appreciate the $2. Thank you for being with us today, this evening. It is snowing outside. What is going on? The weather cannot make up its mind. It was like 67, 68 degrees yesterday. It was wonderful. It was great running around, getting all my grocery shopping done and whatnot. And then I look out the window right before stream and just snowstorm, blizzard is going on outside. What's happening? That fucking gopher back in February, he just fucked us all to hell. You know that? He just decided more winter, get wrecked, everybody. It's gonna be cold. Puxatawny Phil, nah, he's just a little dumb gopher to me. Peyton, anyways, thank you for the 2, though. It's Monday, we're getting through, and if it's cold in your neck of the woods, it's cold here too. It sucks. It's no fun. Can it warm up already? Can the sun come out? The sun will come out tomorrow. What's the rest of the lyrics to this song? Paula Fitzhenry, hi, hello, what's up, welcome in, thank you for being with us. We got Nathan Mills out there saying, yo, Nathan Mills, how we doing? Welcome in. Jacob Pace Wells is saying, Jake, what's up, man? I love your name. Can I just say that? You have the best first name a person could have. I hope you're doing well. I hope that Stu returns for Scream 8, and it's about his POV of the latest Scream movies, 5, 6, and 7, with every killer being sent by him. Maybe he's sick of the slander. Maybe he's just like, these killers thought they could pretend to be me? Well, I'm coming out of retirement, baby. He's living on an island somewhere. He's pissed off, ready to burn it. He builds his own house back up and then burns it back down again. That's the opening scene. He's like, you ain't gonna mimic me. There's only one Stu Mocker, damn it. McDucky, thanks for being a channel member. How we doing? Howdy, hey. What's up, partner? How you doing? Ilum is saying, Jake, how do you feel that's between Screams 1 and 2? It looks like Randy was an outsider by being the one people question? Wait, what? Like, how do you feel about Randy being an outsider in Screams 1 and 2? Like when Mickey said he is a little off, though. Yeah, I think that, people kind of look at Randy being obsessed with horror movies as kind of a weirdo for that instance. I do kind of like that you have this transition from Randy, kind of being this dork, being a little more quiet and shy in the first movie, to where you get into Scream 2 and he's a little more confident. I mean, in that film class, it's like he's got his chest out, he's arguing with everybody in class, he feels more confident, like more willing to speak up about things. And I think that immediately sets the tone for Scream 2 and his character and what's going on there. I mean, in the next scene after that, he's talking with Neve Campbell again, which, by the way, his crush, you know what I mean? He went on and on in the original Scream about how much he loved Sydney and was like, what if the nerd gets the girl or something for once, right? That kind of vibe. And he's talking with her. He's doing his English accent for some reason. He's like very confident. I mean, Derek shows up and kind of ruins it. But point being, I think that Randy is, we do see that change in that character, that dynamic switch. And I think that's why Randy had to die in part 2, if I'm being honest. I would have loved to have seen more Randy, especially in part 3. We've talked about it quite a few times. Randy in Hollywood would have gone very hard. But I think Confident Randy is like overpowered. Randy in Scream 2 is OP, dude. Like if he could have figured out those killers so fast, and it would have been over halfway through the damn thing, you know? So I think I understand why they had to kill Randy off, but I still missed him in some of those other sequels, let me tell you. But I do love that little flip he goes through. RJ Skorenki is saying, since Scream 8, all the characters come back to life and Sydney has to face them all one last time. Just everyone's a zombie now. Even the good characters that died, they're back. They're zombie ghost faces. Erica Stabs for likes. What's up? What's up? Thanks for being a channel member. Hey, hello. Thank you for modding tonight. Erica's amazing. We love Erica. So much love, Erica. Thank you for being with us. We got Big Brisk Yo saying, oi! What's up? What's up, Big Brisk Yo? I love that. Throwing a little oi out there. Okay. I wasn't ready for that. Dunkachino Joe referencing the best Adam Sandler movie of all time. Jack and Jill. That's an opinion that I think any reviewer would just like lose their card for. Be like, dog, what do you mean? What do you mean? We respect everyone's opinions around here, except for your takes on Jack and Jill. That's gonna be the one. That's gonna be the one movie that we're just like, nope. No, I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. Jokes. Jill is alive. Look at that. Jack and Jill, baby. Saying, hey guys, what's up? Welcome in. Thank you for being with us. What a weird reference. Why reference? You know, the one big movie we've talked about outside of Scream is Jack and Jill. I'm upset that's the only other movie that's been referenced tonight. Let's get some other references in here, damn it. It's 90 in Louisville? Big Brisk, yo, what? It's snowing. It is actively like a blizzard here. Like if I could show you out the window right now, it is a disaster. Let me come down to Louisville. Let's get the hell out of here, dude. Everyone pack up. We're going to Louisville. Get your things ready to go. We're doing it. Who else is with us? We also got Jordan Curley saying, hey Jake, I saw Scream 7 finally this past Thursday, so I can finally watch a stream, thank God. Jordan, I would hate to have spoiled it for you, so I'm glad that I didn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to spoil it for you, so we missed you. But at the same time, I'm glad I didn't, throw any spoilers out there. That would be no fun. Wouldn't want to know those things before they came out. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we can talk and discuss finally. But yeah, we're here to talk Scream 7. It's been spoilers on for a little while. Pretty much, I feel like with most new movies, it's spoilers on. But yeah, Scream 7 especially. So. Thanks for being with us, though. I hope you enjoyed it. Kelly Stroh Snyder, thank you for being a channel member. Yo. Hey, Jake and Chad. How we doing, Kelly? Welcome in. Welcome in. We need to follow Ghostface, says Big Brisk Yo, and his POV recruiting, planning, executing, then getting the rise to fame. I just want like a simple, this is so interesting because whenever this idea comes up, I'm like, would you want to follow Ghostface and see them do something different? No, like I would want to follow like a basic ass Ghostface and just go through a whole Scream movie through their perspective. Because I think that's interesting. Like, I mean, we've seen the original Scream so many times, but what's it like from Billy's perspective the whole time, knowing what's going on? We tried to answer that in our Scream fan film a couple years ago, and Jamie kind of ended up being this concoction of like Jill, Richie, and maybe Billy and Stu. Maybe there was a little bit of all my favorite ghost faces kind of compiled into what Jamie was, but I purposefully did not want to do something too different from the other ghost faces we've already seen, like to kind of keep it in line, but mostly showing it from his perspective rather than some of the other characters. So I think I'm really excited. I've been talking about this a little bit on the page, but I am working on a re-release, like a director's cut of Red Right Hand, and I think it even sharpens up that angle to it even more. So I'm really excited to put that out, and I'm really hoping you guys check it out, because I think it's an even stronger version of that film. So give it a watch. It's going to be fun. Peyton is throwing $5 out there. Thank you, Peyton, for the support. Really appreciate it. Thanks for kicking off our super chat goal here. You're saying, I saw Scream 7 for an 8th time. Damn. You would think Scream 7, watching it 7 times, that would do it. No, it's going to be 8 times, damn it. Yes, this is the last time I see it in theaters. Next week, I'm watching it on repeat for months. Saw Ron 2. I thought it was I think I definitely like Ready or Not 2 better than Scream 7, for sure. But Ready or Not 2, still, I'm a little like where I thought the bar was going to be. Like Ready or Not 2 was about here. Like it was definitely a little lesser than than what I was expecting. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in Ready or Not 2. It's just I think it had some messy moments that were a little frustrating. One of my biggest pet peeves about movies is when you over-explain plot points. It's why Stranger Things season 5 just like kind of turned me off entirely at a certain point. Ready or Not 2, it doesn't do it as egregiously as the latest season of Stranger Things, but man, it's there a few times, and it's like, dude, we get it. Sarah Michelle Gellar especially, which is a shame because I think her performance is awesome, but they give her a lot of lines where it's like, oh, we're just repeating something that happened like 10 minutes ago in case you missed it. And it's like, dude, that's so annoying. Why are we doing this? This is crazy. You know that shit's like studio mandated too. Like that, no way is Radio Silence the writers like, let's just repeat stuff that we already did. Like, oh, that's frustrating, man. We're starting to see that in a lot of like, stuff that's targeted towards a younger audience. Your horror comedies, your YA slashers, your, just again stuff that isn't necessarily like, it's rated R, but it's not necessarily for like just adults kind of vibes. We're seeing that in a lot of the horror, a lot of the more popcorn horror like this lately, and it's a little frustrating. It's like, man, that's like, if you're paying attention, you should be rewarded for that. Now it's trying to like keep up for everybody who might have looked at their phone for the last couple of minutes, and it's like, well, I missed that plot point. It's like, no, dude, get off your damn phone. Get off your damn phone and watch the movie. That's crazy. I hate dialogue like that. That really bummed me out. That was a little bit of a wart when it comes to Ron 2 Hick. But outside of that, you really can't hate on this film. I mean, my God, the character work, the performances, the cast, it's the best in a horror movie all year, without a doubt. I mean, Ready or Not 2, it's still going to end up way up there in terms of rankings this year. Still had a really good time with it, even if the story was a little sloppy. Some of the dialogue was a little cringe. But outside of that, man, character work was excellent. I think Sean Hattasy is one of the best villains I've seen in a horror movie all year. Wow. Like, kind of surprised how much of a standout he ended up becoming. There's a lot of really subtle character work with him. And something that even my fiance pointed out, which I gotta be honest, man. I had to bring this up on a stream at some point because I was like, damn, how you doing, my fiance? Madison we were going back and forth like film analysis stuff, and she pointed out something really interesting about Titus, about how they hold on this kiss between the two characters. I'm talking about Sean Hattasy, just so you know. Yeah, I was giving you a huge shout out because you're amazing. I just want you to know that. I said Sean Hattasy, she came running, guys. I am in danger. I am so glad I put a ring on it a year ago or so now, because otherwise I think that thing might have been just tossed aside. He's married. Sean Hattasy's married? I don't like how you said that. I don't like how you said that with like, oh, he's married. Oh. Whatever will I do now? Married with a kid. Oh. Now you have no chance. No chance at all. It's brutal. But anyways, she made a really good point about Titus's character, that when we get to that wedding at the end, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for anybody. I guess it's not really, it's not like a Scream movie where it's like, oh, if you learn this, like, it's over. You know what I mean? This is a fun popcorn movie is how it is. So I feel okay talking about it. But spoilers, if you haven't seen Ron 2 Hick, Ready or Not 2, here I come. There's this kiss that happens between Grace's character and Titus, and like, it's so aggressive from Sean Hattasy. And she made a point that she's like, I bet he's a virgin and that was his first kiss. And I'm like, whoa, I think you're right. That's fucked up. Because he kind of gives off a little bit of incel energy. I mean, he literally punches his sister in the face at one point and doesn't give a fuck. It's like, you are a dick, sir. Wow. But I loved it. I mean, honestly, if your character work is that strong, I really can't hate on a film, dude. Like, I especially in the last couple of years, I've started to appreciate that a lot more in movies. If you watch some of my reviews from like 2022 and back, if the story isn't strong, I'm kind of like not talking so positively about it. But the more that I watch movies, the more I'm like, dude, character work is not an easy thing to do. You gotta have some people who have an understanding of what these characters are, what they mean. And my God, pretty much everyone across the board board here in Ready or Not 2 understands that. Like, understood the assignment, and I have to praise that, because especially in something like Scream, which I know some people disagree with me on this, and that's totally fine, but you know, when it came to Scream 7, I just felt like none of those characters like knew what they were trying to do or what they were trying to be. It was just a lot of bland, a lot of gray sludge, and I was just kind of bored with a lot of those characters. And Ready or Not 2, I mean, it is like night and day in terms of colorful characters and backgrounds. I mean, my God, everybody in Ready or Not 2 did something really interesting at some point. Elijah Wood, Sarah Michelle Gellar, David Cronenberg even gets some really interesting lines in there that I think adds so much to Titus's character again. I mean, and Samara Weaving and Catherine Newton, like, seriously, you cannot talk about that movie without talking about their relationship. Oh, finally seeing them on screen together, dude, it made me want to jump out of my damn seat. It made me want to like bust through the ceiling like with excitement. Can I just tell you that? I might have been like, okay, that dialogue, what the fuck's going on there? But man, I was jumping up and down in my damn seat. It was awesome. So really great. I had a really good time with that movie, I gotta admit. I'm probably giving it more flowers than it deserves. But I think that I think that I still really enjoyed it, warts and all, is my big thing about it. It's got some pretty obvious problems, but I really had a good time with it. That's one I will definitely see in the theater, I think, at least one more time. Peyton, thank you for the 5, though. Really appreciate your support. Thank you for hanging out with us. So much love. Never seen it, just missed the Dunkachino. Oh, for real? Wait. You've never seen Jack and Jill? Wait, that's so funny. You're not missing anything. Can I just tell you that? Like, you're not missing a single thing. But there's one of the most, I'm not gonna say one of the most memorable gags. One of the biggest jokes from that movie is a Dunkin' Donuts bit where it's like Al Pacino is. If I explain it, like, it's gonna sound stupider than it actually is, and then it's somehow even stupider when you watch it. But watch Jack and Jill if you want to have like a bad time, you know. It's rough. It's not a very good watch. I don't know. Why are we talking about Jack and Jill? Let's move on from that. Anyways, we got Gory Tiger out there saying, what's up? What's up, Gory Tiger? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Ilum is throwing $2 out there saying, I'd let the geek get the girl. Or you're throwing $3 out there. I'm so sorry, Ilum. Thank you for the support. You know, Randy, he was doing his best out there. He was doing his best out in those streets, but but couldn't make it happen. Got axed before anything could go through, sadly. But I'm kind of with Kevin Williamson, man. He said recently on a Threads AMA that he would love to do more with Randy in the future, bring back that character. That's a character I'd be like, if we want to retcon some shit, you know, and just do like a direct continuation to the original, I'd almost be okay with that, just to see what it would be like to do more with Randy. I think there's a lot of potential for a future character arc there. Jordan is saying, I thought it wasn't that bad. I loved Sydney's daughter by the second half of the film. She really came into her own. I wish I liked Sydney's daughter more. I was really hoping that would be a big thing that I would be like, okay, well, you know, I kind of knew going into the film that stuff with the legacy characters wasn't going to be handled very well. I mean, it wasn't handled very well in the previous 2 films. I don't think it was much better here by just adding more screen time to those characters, frankly. Tatum was a character that I just, you know, if you're going to be the final girl in a horror movie, man, you got to do some cool shit. And like the whole time, any conversation revolving around Tatum somehow funnels back to her mother. And I just never felt like she became her own character in all of this film. And I guess I'm not, you know, that's not even remotely my biggest issue with Scream 7, because again, if we look back at Screams 5, it definitely took a while before I was getting into those characters. I mean, hell, maybe even after the first watch, I wasn't totally sold on Sam and Tara. It took a couple more watches before I was like, okay, you know, I kind of vibe with these characters a little more. Tatum, I'm just really, probably my least favorite, like, lead kind of character in the entire Scream franchise, like, without question at this point. I want to see Scream 7 again. Maybe there's something in there that, I don't know, something else to her character that I could like, but I did not really, there was nothing about her character that felt like she stood on her own as a person. It was just everything surrounding her was, you're Sidney Prescott's daughter, you should be this, you should be that. And it's like, okay, but who is Tatum? You know, we see her in a what was it, like a dog costume or something in this mysterious play, whatever it could be about. I don't know. Like, I just think back to, you know, how rich and thematic it was that we were doing that specific play in Scream 2 and how much that said about Sydney as a character. What does her being in a furry costume say about Tatum? You know, what is the play going on here? What does that have to do with the ongoing film outside of being a cool set piece? You know, and I don't know. There's so many things like that where I'm like, you had opportunity to implement some character into these sequences and you didn't really do any of that. All the scenes with her and her boyfriend feel like a parody of, you know, the original Scream, which, you know, it feels like the scary movie version of that scene from the original Scream, but taking place in the modern day and without any jokes. You know, I don't know, man. I wanted more. I wanted so much more from Tatum. I was really hoping that at the very least, they would do something with this character to really set up some sort of new story, set up some sort of new direction for the franchise. I mean, I don't know. Again, kind of a disappointing angle to this movie. Really wish there was more to Tatum than more than just being Sydney's daughter. I need more than that. More than just the label. Anime Knight is saying, what if Scream 7 was made to be bad on purpose so that the 8th one will be good? Why would you do that? Why would you spend $45 million on that? Why? I mean, I don't know. I can't get behind that. There's so many better uses to spend $45 million on versus a bad Scream film. Jordan Curley is saying, I feel so bad for not being around. I didn't want to get spoiled. No, it's no worries at all, Jordan. We don't want you to get spoiled either. We're just glad you're here now. So no worries at all. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Freddie is saying, what's good, bro? What's up, Freddie Guevara? If I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm probably not. I'm so sorry. Thank you for being with us, Freddie, and sorry I'm butchering your name. McDucky is saying, I saw both Ron films back to back, and I don't know how I feel about them. I really love the original. The original is one of my favorite Radio Silence films. Check out my ranking of all 8 movies. By the way, just posted that video a few hours ago. Give it a watch. It's almost 20 minutes. It's a long one. Had a lot to say about the movies. And it's also kind of my Ready or Not to review. So check it out. You don't know how you feel about them. I don't know how I feel about the second one still. Can I be honest? I'm still like I'm in the mud about it. I think I'm leaning towards I liked it, but not. I wish I liked it more. Like I wish I came out of the theater being like, oh, I really liked that. But I'm kind of just like, it's a very strong 6 out of 10 for me right now. Is how I'm feeling about it. That's where I'm at. But the first one though, I mean, it's one of my favorite horror movies probably from the 2010s. I really enjoyed the first Ready or Not. Joan Sclafani? What's up, Joan? How we doing? You know, I read your name a lot, Joan, and I don't know why. I can never get it right without a little question mark at the end there. Joan Sclafani? What's up, Joan? Welcome in. Thank you for being with us. Congratulations, Jake. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That really means a lot. We got Peyton throwing $20 out there. Thank you for the support, my friend. Thank you. Saying Stranger's Mystique plot teaser years after surviving a deadly night with the Carlisle family. Years after, let me start that over. Hang on. Years after surviving a deadly night, the Carlisle family rebuilds in Philadelphia, but nothing is healed. As Halloween rises, a death from the past reveals the truth. This isn't over. It's personal. What's the movie where the tagline's "It's personal this time"? Oh, isn't it like Jaws 4: The Revenge? It's like it's this time it's personal. The shark has emotions now. It's coming after the people that killed its family. I don't know. I think, you know what, Peyton, if you can make a better movie than Jaws: The Revenge, I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied. I love that so much. I'm excited to read more of your Stranger's story. I think the first one absolutely rocks. I really enjoyed reading it. Thank you for sending it my way, my friend. Keep writing, keep doing stuff. Keep writing your stories, man. Never stop with that. Thank you for the 20. We got Fort Misery Gaming saying Scream Queen Howard. What? You pick Jake, Nev Campbell, Emma Roberts, Samara Weaving, Sydney. Is Sydney Sweeney really? I don't know. Disregard her as a person and her views. Is Sydney, has she really earned that? I have not seen The Housemaid. Can I be honest? I have not seen that film. I've heard very good things about it though. You know, you never know what's going to hit. You know, you really never know. And I just told myself last December, I'm like, I'm probably going to skip that one. You know, Sydney Sweeney was on kind of a weird tear with movies not really hitting at the box office. And I'm like, I'll watch it when it comes to, you know, VOD or something. And then that movie ends up making $200 million at the box office. And I'm like, I should have made a review of that. Wow. Damn. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. and all that fun stuff. But I'm still gonna watch that on the page sometimes. Guys, I haven't seen that movie or Shelby Oaks, two movies that I probably should have seen from last year. And I've heard nothing but bad reviews about Shelby Oaks. I still want to watch it. I don't care. Chris Stuckman made it. I've been watching him since the dawn of YouTube times. And I want to check it out. So I've been kind of waiting to do it so I could, do the reaction on this page, because I'm like, that ought to be a fun video, no matter how this movie winds up being. But those two movies I want to do reactions of, first time watches at some point. So it's happening. Anyways, let's get back to this though. Who would I pick as my final girl here? I mean, I love Neve Campbell, but again, Scream 7 has just kind of lowered Sidney Prescott on my final girl list. I just feel like they really did her character dirty in that film. Samara Weaving, I think, might be my new favorite final girl actress I'm sorry, Scream 7, again, just one of the weakest things about this movie to me was the characterization, especially of the legacy characters. I just feel like they did them so dirty. Having Sidney Prescott come back and get fooled by AI videos on her phone, it's like, I mean, I've helped my dad. I've had my dad, and shout out to my dad. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of you or nothing, but my dad will send me videos of like movie trailers sometimes, and he's like, dude, can you believe they're making Back to the Future 4? And it's like very clearly an AI video of, Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. or something like that. And I'm just like, Dad, this isn't real. All of Scream 7 just comes off that way to me. It's like Tatum's got to help her mom, and talk to her about AI videos and stuff and how it's not real. I don't know. That's such a boring angle to take such a badass character down. You know what I mean? What if they brought back Butch from Predator, and he's seeing videos of the Predator on his phone, like saying, oh bro, I'm coming to Earth, I'm gonna rip you to shreds or something. And it's just like, dog, like, that's not fun. That's sad. It's just kind of sad, if I'm being honest. It's just like, oh man, my heroes are getting old, man. So I don't know. Neve Campbell, she's a great actress, man. I just watched Wild Things for the first time. Or is it called Wild Things? That's, dude, killer movie with her in it, by the way. She's an excellent actress. Scream 7, I think, has devalued Sidney Prescott as a character for me personally. So I think I got to put Samara Weaving up there. I have not seen her miss yet. I admittedly have not seen all of her horror movies. I have not seen Eenie Meenie or what was that? There's another one that just came out last year that actually got bad reviews. Borderline. Have not seen Borderline yet. So I think I've really only seen the Samara Weaving hits. So maybe that opinion changes. But Samara Weaving, I mean, she just kills it in every movie I've seen her in personally. Asriel, which is a less talked about one, really good. Mayhem. Have you guys seen Mayhem? Dude, Mayhem's really good. Mayhem doesn't get talked about enough. Very brutal, very fun, very over the top. But yeah, I think I'd have to go with Samara Weaving at this point, which makes me sad. All these actresses you're pointing out, though, are fantastic. Can I just say that? I mean, all of these actresses have earned their, Scream Queen status, I think, without a doubt. What's my favorite wrestler? I don't follow wrestling like at all. I'm so sorry. I know nothing about it. Some of my friends back home kind of know wrestling, and they tried to get me into it. I don't know. It was never really my cup of tea. But I know that horror and wrestling oftentimes go together and mix match quite a bit. So much love for that. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. I think it's really cool that there's like those fandoms kind of cross a lot of the times. I think that's great. But I guess I just never really got into it. I don't know. I missed that train. I missed the wrestling train. If we're basing it off of actual Scream, I'd go with Samara because her Scream is amazing, says Erica. Man, I can't disagree with that. Samara Weaving's Scream is gut-wrenching, man. Ooh, it hurts. Hurts to hear. We have Wayne Turner saying, rest in peace, Aussie horror director Jamie Blanks. Yeah, this is really horrible news from this past week. Jamie Blanks, who directed Urban Legend, Valentine, and a few other really cool horror flicks, has sadly passed away. Kind of young, too, dude, in his 50s. It's just such a bummer. I remember we were talking about, before Scream 7 kind of got going, who would direct it if Radio Silence was going to be attached. And I remember one of the names, for me at least, was Jamie Blanks, because I'm just like, Urban Legend and Valentine. These are like these Scream-inspired slasher movies from the late 90s, early 2000s that I think might be right up there with those original Scream movies. I mean, those are cream of the crop. in my opinion. And a lot of those movies are not cream of the crop. You see a lot of the other ones and they're kind of just okay. I Know What You Did Last Summer, I feel like is only even really on that list because it's got an excellent fucking chase scene and some great characters. Outside of that, the story is just okay. Urban Legend's got great characters and a really good story and twist. I mean, man, whew, Jamie Blanks cooked with that first Urban Legend, and the sequel's not too bad either. I also love Valentine, dude. Another great twist. A lot of that's the common denominator with a lot of those Scream-inspired slashers that kind of came after the original. They just don't tip. A lot of them don't have good twists. A lot of them just forget to do the twist or anything special with that. But Jamie Blanks was able to do it twice. So, I mean, I think that's awesome. I've heard nothing but good things about him and championing a lot of other horror directors and projects and whatnot. I've heard a lot of really cool things about him. So it makes me really sad that he's passed. And I wish we would have gotten more. I wish we would have gotten more stuff from him. You always, I feel like you're always going to feel that when someone passes, but Jamie Blanks especially, it cuts deep, man. It sucks. So much love to him and his family. My condolences. And just put on Urban Legend sometime, man. It's a great movie. It's a really good movie, especially if you haven't seen it. Blazing Tragedy is saying, been loving your Dexter videos. Just got done watching the new show, and you got to keep going. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's been a blast doing the Dexter videos, guys. Episode 4 is currently out now for channel members. The uncut version is on Patreon. Go check it all out. That's going to come out tomorrow publicly at 3 p.m. So new videos, they drop every single week. It's not going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday every single week, but I am going to do at least three new episodes each week is kind of what I'm getting into for now. I think through the first 2 seasons, I'm going to do 3 episodes a week, but we might move into some other stuff this summer. Channel members may already know about that, interestingly enough. But yeah, I've been really enjoying Dexter. Seriously, I cannot stress enough how good it is and how much I'm really loving it. Please watch those videos, though. It's been a blast making them. I think those are some of my favorite videos I've made in recent memory. So give them a watch. And I really do appreciate the love. A lot of people have messaged me and left really positive comments on those videos. It means the world to me. Seriously. Thank you. I've been trying to get some sort of non-horror news series or something going on this page for a little while. I love doing the horror news things, man. It's fun. But I want to do something else too. I want to grow this page in some other different directions, get some other branches going off of this tree, right? So it's been really fun going back and watching Dexter. We have some other TV shows that are potentially in the works right now for, watching on this channel. So stay tuned. Other horror things too, I might add. Ghost Files 2024. What's up, Ghost Files? I love that name. What's up? Stupid question. Should the Scream franchise continue? I want it to be the stories. I wanted to, but the stories have been lacking a bit. I've been hearing a lot of critics and a lot of, kind of people who outside of Scream a little more talk about the franchise taking a break. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I feel like Scream 7, while it's making a ton of money, has left a bad taste in a lot of people's just mouths in general. It might be kind of good for the franchise if they do like one more movie that's a little stronger, maybe something that isn't as controversial either. I think that might really just help this franchise's reputation. I would hate for this franchise to go into hibernation again, like what happened after Scream 4. I mean, we got the MTV show, and I know a lot of people really love it, but it just wasn't, reviewed very well. The ratings dipped between seasons. I mean, there's not even a physical release of season 2 and season 3 because I was gonna watch it on the page. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I was gonna do a rewatch of it on the page, and you can't even find DVDs of season 2 and season 3. I mean, that to me, that kind of says a lot about it, sadly. But I didn't hate it. I definitely didn't hate it. I think I like all the movies more. Maybe not 7. I think I like the show better than 7. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like Scream kind of went away for a little while and then only got brought back recently. I would hate for this to die out only after 3 movies. I feel like we can get at least one more in there before all is said and done. So we'll see what happens. But the money truck is rolling right now. So the truth is Scream 8 is going to happen. If it doesn't, I would be shocked. The fact that we haven't gotten an announcement yet, and the movie is about to cross 200 million at the box office is crazy. Now, I've made this point before, but I will say it again, is that whenever a movie that is reviewed poorly makes a lot of money, typically whatever comes next in a franchise doesn't do so well, despite the reviews, no matter what. Some people are going to be turned off from Scream moving forward, and they're just not going to see what happens next. So that's the big thing. That's kind of the big thing that's going through my mind right now. It's like, what's happening here? what's happening here? You know, what's going on with this moving forward? You know, is Scream 8 gonna hurt no matter the quality? It's definitely something I'm worried about moving into whatever comes next. Labatry Joe is saying, come on, Jake, not even Sidney Prescott and Laurie Strode are still the queens of this horror shit. They're great characters. I do agree. I mean, they're still great characters, that's for sure. But I feel like, you know, Laurie Strode for a while now, I feel like they've done her character dirty a few times. I mean, they in Halloween 4, they killed her off screen in a car accident. That sucks balls. They literally killed her on screen at the end of at the beginning of Resurrection, which is like, you just kind of rendered all of H2O as pointless. And then what was her characterization in Halloween Ends, man? Laurie Strode has been through this a few times, and frankly, I just feel bad for her. But Sidney Prescott, I feel like this is the first time we've really just done full-blown character assassination. And Sidney had a little more luck than Laurie Strode. I mean, she made it through at least, I mean, I guess she was only in 5 movies, but 6 movies really, before I feel like anything just got kind of really tarnished with her character. So I guess that just bums me out, because for the longest time, Sidney Prescott was number 1. She was my champion. I was just like, this is a great character arc through all of these different movies of varying quality. That's hard to do for any character. Scream 7, I feel like, has definitely put a damper on that. I can't disagree, though. I mean, Sidney Prescott, definitely one of the best final girls still of all time. She's still on the top 10 list, just maybe not my number 1 anymore, sadly. I feel like after something like, for me at least, I know some people disagree, and again, that's totally fine, but Sidney Prescott getting fooled with AI videos on her phone, that's just, I can't get into that. I'm so sorry. It's just, it does not work for me. I don't like the way she's characterized in this film. I wish that we had just done literally anything else. Literally anything else would have worked better for me in terms of concept alone. I could not get into that, sadly. Rob Ellis is saying, not sure if you have heard, Wolf Creek 3 has just gone into production this month. I'm excited for Wolf Creek 3. I haven't seen have I seen the second one? I know I've seen the first one. I don't even know if I've seen the sequel. And I guess there's a TV show of that too. There's a surprising amount of Wolf Creek. And now we got a third one on the way. I will definitely see it 100%. I need to freshen up on my Wolf Creek knowledge. Because the only thing I really remember from the first one is the head on a stick thing. And that's pretty messed up. If you know the head on a stick thing, dude, whew, that's nasty, dirty is what that is. What are my thoughts on Scary Movie 6, bro? It's gonna be the best Ghostface movie of the year. That's what I think. I tweeted that so snarky, like, and people got mad. People were not happy with Jake for that one. Genuinely, though, I think that we're bringing that franchise back the way it deserves to be brought back. I mean, it feels like Scary Movie. It feels like, so far from the trailer, it feels like we have not skipped a beat from where the franchise left off, where the Wayans brother left off specifically, let's say that. Because, man, I feel like those first 2 Scary Movies have a certain flavor that, like, 3, 4, and 5 kind of lose. And that 6 trailer, like, I feel it. I can feel that it's back. It may not be the best of the franchise. I'm not expecting that from Scary Movie 6, but I do think that it's going to capture that energy of what's so great about the first 2. So I'm really excited for those movies, man. I watched Scary Movie probably, I'm pretty sure I watched it before I saw Scream. So I really do love those movies, and I'm excited to see just comedy come back to the theater. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see for sure. I am lost in the chat. I'm so sorry, everybody. We're getting down there. We're making this happen. Who else is with us? We have YBX Coraline. What's up, my friend? Who do you think would direct Scream 8? That is such a good question, and I don't know. I really do not know. I don't know. It's such a big question because Kevin Williamson is saying he's opting out. Sounds like he doesn't want to do it. He wants to move on some other things. He's talked about some other projects that he wants to do. And hey, you know what? Good for him. Rock on, dude. But who would do Scream 8? I feel like at this point, you're not going to pull a big director. Scream has become taboo. Again, if you agree with the controversy, if you don't agree with the controversy, whatever, people just don't want to touch it with a 6-foot pole. We've actually heard that from directors, and I won't name who, but I've specifically heard it from one. And all I'll say is that it just sounds like in the air, Scream is something that people don't want to get involved with. So to my knowledge, I feel like the best route for success with Scream at this point is get a up and coming young director, like someone who has never really done something before, but maybe loves Scream, has that influence in his back pocket, his or her back pocket, I should say, and just wants to do it, just wants to bring a new age to Scream, kind of reinvent it, bring a new personality, a new perspective. That to me, I feel like is going to render the best product at this point. I think Scream needs a new look, a fresh look from a fresh set of eyes too. I think, going back to Kevin Williamson with Scream 8 in theory was one of those things that like should have worked and should have made a stronger product. But I just think Scream, if I'm learning anything from the last 3 films, it's that they just need clean slate, wipe the damn slate. Start over, start fresh, do some new things entirely, and just see what happens. At this point, it can't hurt. I don't think it can be worse than where we've gotten to at this point. I would rather see a simple idea that's maybe just something different. That to me is going to render just the best product. So I hope it's someone we've never heard of before that maybe has some like cool short films that they've made or something like that. That's who I think needs to tackle Scream next. Someone who's hungry for it, who's hungry for a hit and is gonna bust their ass on a new sequel and make it something worth watching. But that's just my thoughts, of course. I'm sure that, the studio is looking at bigger names. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Fort Misery Gaming is saying you should add You to your horror series review watches. It's an amazing series. You, to my knowledge, is a Netflix series. I need a physical copy to be able to do those series, and I don't think that You show. Let's just look this up real quick. I'm curious. That is a Netflix show. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't have a physical release of this, unless they do. Unless they do. Sometimes they do. DVD question mark? Oh, fuck, they do. Okay, they have a Blu-ray of it. Okay, sick. I've been proven wrong so many times about this recently. Netflix used to not have any physical media for shit, but now I guess they do for a lot of this stuff. So, okay, I was proven wrong. That's awesome. That's great. Maybe I'll watch this at some point. I've heard some fun things about it. I've heard actually it's kind of similar to Dexter in a way. So I will, maybe that'll be perfect. Maybe that'll be a perfect thing to pivot to. I have when we finish up Dexter, I just told our channel members and Patreon supporters what we'll be focusing on next, what the next big series is. I don't want to announce anything yet, but if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter, shh, that's all I'll say. So more things are coming, more shows we're going to watch on this page for sure. Hopefully the series keeps kicking ass. We have Erica Stabbin for likes. Thank you for the 2. You're saying 47 viewers, but only 33 likes. Go hit the like button. Come on now, baby. Stab that thing in the freaking hand, maybe right there. Just cha. You know what I'm saying? Get right through that thing. Make it happen. Erica, thank you for the 2, though. I really do appreciate you a bunch. You're too kind. You're always so kind for throwing a super chat out there to tell people to like the stream. That means a lot to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for the help. Thanks for the support. Peyton is throwing $10 out there too. Thank you for the 10. Peyton, thank you for supporting the page. Not rushing you, do just an idea on when the email is coming. I understand you're such a busy guy with the Dexter stuff, and I've been loving those reactions. Thank you so much. It's been a re-reaction for me for RS2. Oh, hell yeah, dog. I will be sending, I'm going to send it after this stream, actually. We're not going to play games tonight because I got to get some other stuff done. I've been working since 6:30 this morning. So sadly, we won't be able to play some games tonight. I might go a little longer, depending on if we get that super chat goal or not, though. We'll see. But I sadly won't do it. Not going to be a 3-hour stream tonight. Maybe a 2. We'll see. But I'll send that email over here soon. Dude, I'm so when I actually had time to do it, I swear to God, our power went out and then was out for like 3 hours. So apologies for that, my friend. Between that, planning a wedding and running a YouTube channel and also working on did I tell you all I'm working on a movie? It's chaos over here. So it's just been nonstop, but I will get back to that very shortly. I'm so sorry about the delay there. I really do appreciate you sharing here with us, Peyton. It really does mean quite a bit. I always love seeing creativity come from this community in some way, shape, or form, and I cannot champion you enough for writing a whole ass script. Seriously, you should be proud of yourself. Most people don't even get that far. Writing a feature-length script is not an easy thing to do. So I think that's amazing, my friend. Thank you for the 10. Thank you for the support. It really does mean quite a bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you watch Affleck and Damon on Rogan's podcast? No, I have not seen that. They said Netflix has been mandating in scripts that they repeat the plot plot points, frequently because people scroll on their phones and miss the plot. That's not the studio. Like, I have heard that, and I've heard, that Netflix does that. I just think that's not up to you. Like, that's your, if you're the person watching the movie and you're on your phone, that's your fault. that's how I look at it. I have no sympathy for people who miss the plot because they were looking at their phone. I get it. I look at this thing quite a bit, and it's a problem. I throw it off to the fucking side when I'm watching something. I throw it off somewhere else, and I try not to look at this thing. And frankly, I understand that I understand that can be difficult sometimes, but man, if we're gonna watch something, it's important to stay off of the phone. I look at this thing like fast food. You know what I mean? I look at this thing as like, this is fast food entertainment, scrolling on TikTok or whatever, seeing reels and stuff. That's fun. But what are you actually getting from that? You know what I mean? When you sit down and you watch a full movie, you're getting a full experience that has been, crafted for a very long time, no matter what the movie is. You know what I mean? That a lot more effort was put into that versus the 30-second reel you probably watched a couple minutes ago. So to me, it's like, pay attention. I sound like such an old man. I know I do, but pay attention to your movies and TV shows, and then hopefully the studio won't do that shit anymore. That's my hope. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know what the future is looking like. Is it a little bleak? Potentially, but but hopefully they cut that shit out. If we keep complaining about it, maybe they'll stop doing it. For Misery Gaming is saying that you is very Dexter-like, Jake, but he's definitely not an anti-hero, more just like a straight-up villain. See, that's kind of what I especially like about Dexter is how complicated of a character he is. He's not just a straight up killer. He is satisfying a killer need within him for gaining something positive from it, making the world a better place in his eyes. And I don't know, that is such an interesting angle to Dexter that it's like, I've seen other concepts approached in similar ways, but Dexter is one of the best I've ever seen do it so far. And I haven't even gotten through the first season yet. So it's going to be tough to check out other shows like it, potential imitators, because Dexter's just doing it so well, man. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes, and I'll probably watch You at some point. You peaks in its first season and declines after season 3. No spoilers. No spoilers. I'll be watching it. I'll watch it at some point, I'm sure. Jord Co is saying, don't think Scream 8 will be bad. Usually when a franchise is back, it's not the best at first. Same as Daredevil Born Again. Season 1 was weird, not the best, and now season 2 will be the greatest thing. I don't think Scream 8 will be bad either. I truthfully believe that they hear all the criticisms. I mean, they knew opening night what some of the criticisms were of Scream 7. Kevin Williamson was even out here talking about it on the red carpet. So they know what went wrong. They know what I think they know what they're going to change moving into the next one for sure. But it's just the question of, are they going to do that in a way that benefits the story? Well, I don't know what's happening here. The other thing that was brought up on one of the Lethal Collective streams is we were kind of talking about how, the budget has increased from 5 to 6 to 7 by $10 million each time. I promise you, they are not going to make a $65 million Scream film. And that's what they would need to do if they were to do a sequel to Scream 7. And what I mean by that is if they were to do a film that brought back all of those characters again, because look, Neve Campbell's not coming back for a reduced rate. Okay. What was it? $7 million she got from that. And I'm sure Courtney Cox was in the same ballpark, maybe 5. I can't remember what her number was, but they're not, if Neve Campbell's going to come back at this point, you got to give her like maybe 10. And I'm not exaggerating. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? People want more and more and more every time they come back. They're not going to make a $65 million Scream film. That movie will fail. There's no way that after Scream 7 with the reviews, the next, like, that movie would have to make, like, let's do the math here. Let's just do the math on what that would have to make. Because you usually do like a 2.5 multiplier for that. So what is that? 65. And then with marketing costs, that would probably also have to make in the ballpark of like 200 million to be profitable. Close to it at the very least. So there's no way they're going to do that. Scream 8 has got to be like, blow it all up, start from the ground up with some young up-and-comers. That's the only way I could see it possibly happening. Maybe if you want to do a sequel to 7, follow Tatum to college or something, and then Nev Campbell just shows up at the end for like a cameo thing. You know what I mean? I don't see how they could possibly make a sequel to that movie and expect it to be profitable. There's no way. A $65 million slasher movie, I mean, that's like unheard of, dude. That would be crazy. 55 million even is insane. I don't know where I got 65 from. I meant to say 55, but still, that's an insane number. Wow. I really think it's going to be a smaller film, whatever comes next. I'm pretty damn sure of it. Gemstone Ghoul, what's up, Talia? How we doing? Going to LA in 2 weeks on a very spontaneous trip. Enjoy. Have so much fun. I might try to check out some horror filming locations, and there's horror themed restaurants. There's a horror coffee place that I get like something for on Instagram all the time, and I don't remember what it's called, but I think they do like slasher themed drinks all the time or something along those lines, which is fun. So check out all the cool places. They filmed a bunch of stuff in that area. They like the original Halloween. I'm trying to think like what else. Some of I know like some of Scream 3 probably around that area, right? Trying to think what else filmed like in LA. Maybe like I'm trying to like Maxine. You can see some Maxine filming locations. I wonder what they did with that. A lot of good stuff out there, though, of course. A lot of cool shit gets shot. I'm trying to think like of popular, big movies, right? Nope. Okay, Nope was shot out there. That's another one to think about. A lot of good stuff to go see, though, Talia. So much love. Have so much fun on that trip. That sounds like a really good time. Spontaneous trips are the best. When you're not like, you're kind of just like, let's do this. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Best kinds of trips, without a doubt. So have so much fun. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for saying hey. I appreciate you. We have Ilum throwing 7 out there. Wow. I love these very random numbers, Ilum. Thank you for the 7. I imagine if Scream did a prequel, I see Randy as a director or comedian. Like, maybe you're meaning like a Scream film, like a sideways movie, somewhere in between. An in-between-quel, one might say. Maybe like between 1 and 2. There's 2 years in between those films, technically. Scream 2 is technically 1998. Interestingly enough. Okay. I mean, I could get into that. I could do like a movie that happened in between there. Maybe with just like other characters, maybe only one person was involved. How would they not talk about that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How would we do that in the timeline? But I'd be down for it. I don't mind a schism in the timeline either. I don't mind just being like, okay, here's the real Scream 2. Get wrecked. Everything else didn't happen, just directly coming off of the original Scream. I would not mind that direction with Scream at this point. I feel like the story has just gotten a little too convoluted at this point. If we went off and just did something else, I'd be totally fine with that. More Randy too. I mean, that would be cool. You could have Dewey back. You could have everybody back and do something fresh with them. You know what I mean? I feel like I wouldn't be too against that. It would be kind of fun to have those characters slip back into those roles. But Ilum, thank you again for the 7. I really appreciate the support. Thank you. Everyone is asking me about Project Hail Mary. People are texting me about it if I'm going to review Project Hail Mary. It's not a horror film, so I probably won't review it. Whenever I talk about anything that's too far away from slashers or horror in general, no one watches. Even the really popular movies, which I really tried to break into some other mediums, but just didn't happen. I probably will go see this. I probably won't make any content on it, but I will see this at some point. I've heard some very good things about it. It looks fun. I was excited to go see it for a while. I'm glad that it's making a ton of money though, because whenever something that's not really IP based in general makes a lot of money like this, that's always a good sign, especially for the future of just theaters and cinema in general. People showing up to things that aren't franchise continuations is a big deal every single time, no matter the quality of the film. So this is something I personally want to support. I remember Sinners was kind of like the same situation, and now Project Hail Mary. Here we go, man. We got people coming to the theater to see a non-IP thing. That's huge. That's a rarity. A diamond in the rough, one might say. So I will 100% be checking that out at some point when I'm not editing Dexter videos, which is kind of all the time these days. Tyler Lee, what's up? Thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate the support. Thank you for being with us, Ty. Thank you. What else is going on here? We have Peyton throwing $10 out there saying, you didn't think it was a Stu. You didn't think it was Stu that would be dumb. He is dead alive in spirit but dead. He is dead, alive in spirit but dead. There we go. I never feel more depressed than hearing that, me doing a what? Destroying my stew shrine and blaring sad music. I was also pretty I think you're talking about the scene at the end of Scream 7. Ethan Embry kind of rips on the Scream fans. I had a lot of people message me this, and I do kind of want to hit on this a little bit. People were like, Jake, why are you taking anything that the Ghostface killers are saying literally? Usually a lot of the things coming out of their mouths is what the film is trying to vilify. Scream 7 is not doing that. I promise you, Scream 7 is not doing. The whole attitude of this film has been to bring in people who were Stu fans to the theaters because they thought they were going to get Matthew Lillard alive on screen. I mean, that's a quote. That's almost a quote from Kevin Williamson, who literally said, I can't wait to see Matthew Lillard alive on screen again, like in a little Instagram post that he made. The whole marketing campaign was bait. The whole marketing campaign, and then the first 2 acts of the film were bait to make you think Stu was going to come out and be alive somehow. I don't know how else to take that. Like, if it was just that line, if it was just Marco, whatever the hell his name is, Ethan Embry, the worst Ghostface, I don't care. If it was just him making a little joke, whatever, fine. But it's more than that, dude. It's the fact that this entire movie was based off of Stu still being alive somehow, the entire marketing campaign, the entire first 2 acts, and then they just decided to rub it in our faces by the time we get to the 3rd act. That's why I'm not crazy about it. That's why I was just really like, what the fuck? What are we doing here, man? What's happening with all this? So that was a little frustrating. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about that personally. I don't understand why that was the direction for Scream 7, especially after Scream 6 was so like rewarding to fans and people who really liked the weird theories. Like, I feel like every scene kind of explored something a little different that, again, maybe the franchise hadn't done before in the past and implemented it into its formula. And like, that was rewarding to me as a fan, as someone who wanted to see things from Ghostface's perspective, even if for just a minute. I mean, that opening scene of Scream 6, I felt heard in that moment, you know? And I just think about the people who love the Stu idea, like the idea of him coming back to life and, still being around somehow. Well, what a crazy twist that would be. And I just feel like a lot of y'all got cheated, and that bums me out because I know how excited I was walking out of the theater for Scream 6, and I feel like a lot of y'all did not get that with 7. And I think that really bums me out. That really makes me sad that was the case for so many folks out there. But Peyton, thank you for the 10. I'm so sorry. I wish we had just Stu come back to life at this point. I wish we would have had that so we could have, some people could have walked out of the theater really jumping up and down for joy. McDucky's throwing 5 out there. Thank you for the support. What actors would you want in a Scream movie, and what would their roles be? I am dying for Sophie Thatcher to be in a motherfucking Scream movie. Can I be so honest? Seeing her in movies like Companion and The Boogeyman and Heretic from a couple years ago, man, the moment I saw that actress in something, I'm like, put her in a Scream movie. Oh my God. I would love to see her be like the next like face of the franchise. Genuinely. Not even just saying that. I would love to see her be like a lead actress in one of these movies. That would be great. Lead character. I don't even know what she would be doing in it, but just throw her in one of these movies. Make it happen. Maybe her and her group of friends or something have a Ghostface problem. I mean, something as simple as that. Get a bunch of young up and comers who, want to have some cool roles in some cool films. There's plenty of those actors out there, man. I have, okay, hang on. The School Spirits, is that what it is? On Paramount, and it's Paramount too, look at that. There's this show called School Spirits. It's really good. I really enjoy it. It's a little underrated, I would even go so far as to say. And it's got a great cast. So Sarah Yarkin is in it, who I've been a pretty big fan of her for a little while now. She's been in a few different weird horror movies. She's in the Happy Death Day films, and she's also the one sister who gets her head chopped off at the end of the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think she would be great. Milo Manheim, who was also in Thanksgiving, has worked with Spyglass before in Paramount quite a few times. I think he would be great in a Scream film. There's this guy in this show in particular, Spencer McPherson. This guy is so underrated in this show. I think he's one of those dudes that I feel like is born to be an actor. Would love to see him in the next thing. Honestly, just get the whole cast of School Spirits to be in to be in the next Scream, and Sophie Thatcher. Just all of them together, that would make for such a good Scream movie. Peyton List, who's the star of that, is also fantastic. Christian Ventura is also great on the show. Everybody on the show is great. I'm just looking at this whole cast, and I'm like, fuck, everyone's great here. Rainbow Waddell, who I can't pronounce her last name, who plays Claire, is awesome on that show. Seriously, though, I can't stress this enough. If you just get that whole cast from School Spirits, where everybody is so talented, playing characters who are admittedly kind of like archetypes for a high school show, but they're doing it so well, I'm just like, oh, these kids are fucking talented, man. Put them in other shit. Put them in movies. These guys got something down. Just put the whole School Spirits cast in a Scream movie. That's my answer. That's my really long-winded answer. Just get the School Spirits cast to be in the next Scream. That'll do it. That'll do me. I'll be happy with that. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that cast fucking rocks, dude. That made that shit. The cast makes that show for me. See, seriously, if a cast is that good, I'm just like, I can get into this, dude. If the characters are that strong, I can vibe with this. Freddie is asking what my favorite scene of an Insidious movie is. I mean, I hate to be such a normie, but like the lipstick demon, man. The lipstick demon scene in the original. That's like the best scene. I really like all those movies, maybe except the last one. All of them have at least like one really solid like jump scare or fun moment with the characters. Love Patty Wills, baby. But that scene in the original, I mean, it made me a horror fan. I snuck into that movie when I was young. I think I was 13, but we snuck in some other friends who were like still 12. You know what I mean? We all got into the movie at our local theater. We saw Insidious. It scared the ever-loving shit out of us. It was one of my first like real horror movies as like kind of a teenager. It was great. Oh my God. And I'll never forget that scene for the first time. Just like I was sitting there with, you know, my girlfriend at the time, just being like, you know, pissing my pants. It was amazing. So I just, that scene will just always be burnt into the back of my brain. It's got to be that one, baby. So many good scenes in that franchise, though. Dude, part 3, interestingly enough, features Dermot Mulroney, who also has a daughter named Quinn. Sound familiar? Does it? Scream 6. So Dermot Mulroney, he's great at playing guys who have daughters named Quinn. And in this case, he's actually a good guy, which is cool. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend it. Insidious 3, it's also Lee Winnell's directorial debut, which is really fucking cool. Erica is reminding everybody to join the Discord because we're going to have a watch party this Wednesday. I don't know what we're watching on Wednesday, but it is the anniversary of our Discord. It'll be a year old this Wednesday. We're going to be watching something that day. We haven't landed on a movie quite yet, but we're going to watch some sort of horror in the middle of the week. It's a mystery movie. That's how we're going to market it. Mystery Movie Monday. Or Wednesday. Where'd I get Monday from? Today's Monday. It's happening tonight, guys. I'm kidding. Mystery Movie Wednesday. What's the movie Wednesday? There we go. I figured it out. What's the movie Wednesday? So stop on by in the middle of the week. No idea what we're going to watch, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Join the Discord. Make it happen, baby. Come on now. Erica's also throwing $2 out there saying, gotta make that goal. We made our goal, baby. We love it. We love to see it. Oh, let's go. Love that. Also a bribe for Hannibal. Okay, well, we can make that happen. I'll throw a few more votes on that poll. Erica, I'll take that bribe. Yeah, Hannibal is one of the shows I'm considering watching. I've never seen it before. I've missed so much horror television, and I think that's what I'm starting to realize through this series, doing this Dexter reaction, is I'm like, man, I've missed a lot of good shit. Y'all have been telling me how good Dexter is for so long. And I'm so glad I'm finally watching it. So I really gotta catch up on some of this stuff. Hannibal, I also just love the Hannibal Lecter movies just in general. So many of them are great. I haven't seen Manhunter, I think is what it's called, right? The movie that Red Dragon just completely ripped off. I have not seen the original of that. I've seen Red Dragon. I have not seen, I think it's Manhunter. Silence of the Lambs, of course, I've seen a million times. I don't even think I've seen I've seen the sequel. I have not seen the Hannibal Rising movie or whatever. It's like a prequel. I heard it's really bad. I heard it's not very good though, so I haven't really seen that one. But a lot of that stuff, a lot of stuff in that franchise, that area is kind of I don't really know a whole lot of it. I've of course seen Silence of the Lambs a few times. Now it's a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, it's great. But the show, Mads Mikkelsen, I feel like that kind of put him on the map. And I've heard many times that he's a great Hannibal. So I really gotta watch that. I gotta check that out, see what it's all about. But Erica, thank you so much for the 2. We'll definitely be watching all these shows. I put out a few different shows that I want to watch and put up here at some point, and we will be getting to all of those at some point. If it takes me the next couple of years, that's what it takes. Where I really want to get the reaction videos off the ground, though. So please go give them a watch. They're really fun to make, and it's fun watching things for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you haven't seen them yourself. Kind of a fun way to do that, a fun excuse. Watch it with someone else, right? It's actually getting me to watch it, which is great too. And I feel like, my knowledge of stuff is increasing alongside actually enjoying this show as well. So it's kind of a great thing. It's a win-win all the way around. It's great stuff. What's your favorite ride-along movies? My favorite ride-along movie? Like action and cops kind of thing. The movie Heat is really good and really underrated. I feel like that's such a boring, like, old man answer, but I love that movie. Heat is a really good movie if you haven't seen it. Heat, there we go. That's what I'm going to throw out there. Peyton, thank you for the 5. Me and my friends did an all-nighter marathon of Insidious. We stayed up all night, too scared to go to bed, and we are all going to see 6 together. Nice. That's awesome. I love the Insidious franchise. It is so much fun to go through. Another series where I feel like we have a lot of great characters, like pretty consistently across the board in all these movies. If nothing else, Specs and Tucker are hilarious in every single movie. So even if you miss Patty Wills and Renee, who's the actress's name, I cannot think of off the top of my head. I can think of her character name, Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne is great in that. Love Patty Wills. Lynn Shay, baby. Ooh, so good as Elise Rayner. And we know she's coming back for part 6, which comes out this August, guys. I am so excited for this movie. It's called Insidious: The Bleeding World. It's about the further is bleeding into the real world. What the fuck is going on here? It sounds a little Stranger Things, but it's also a really cool sounding concept. I think we're going to get some, monsters and ghosts attacking people who don't even, see the shit. So that's just potential for more scares. I'm into it. I can't wait for it. Bring on Insidious 6, man. I can't wait for that first trailer. Also, where the fuck is the first trailer for Evil Dead Burn? That's another one. I'm dying to see the Evil Dead Burn trailer. I'm dying to see the Insidious 6 trailer. Both of those I need in my eyeballs like stats. So excited for both of those, man. But on the horizon here, what we have later on this week is They Will Kill You, a movie that I really need it to be good. Can I just be honest? I need this movie to be good. They Will Kill You is it's very similar to Ready or Not. It looks, in terms of, story structure and feel, I think it's actually going to be better than Ready or Not 2. Can I be honest? We're doing a whole versus video on it sometime next week. We're going to do They Will Kill You versus Ready or Not 2. Honestly, my number one seed here is They Will Kill You. I liked Ready or Not 2. I can't stress that enough, but I think this newcomer might be taking the gold this time around. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this one turns out come this weekend. But definitely go see this movie, especially if you liked Ready or Not or Ready or Not 2. This movie looks to be in the same vein. It's also got a great cast. Holy shit. Heather Graham is in this movie. I swear there's more people. It's just slipping me. Tom Felton is in this movie. Patricia Arquette is in this movie. Zazie Beetz is the star. A lot of cool cast of characters in there. I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's going to be awesome. But Insidious, bring on in part 6. Peyton, I'm really excited for it. Thank you so much for the 5. We still have a lot of good horror to look forward to in 2026, man. Lots of good stuff is on the horizon, baby. Thank you for the 5. Erica is saying, I highly recommend Hannibal. I mentioned it before a while back. I am 100% going to watch it on this page at some point. All those shows I talked with our channel members recently about a bunch of different shows. Lots of stuff I want to get into very soon here. What else is going on? I'm an athlete of the basketball team, bro. Just letting you know. You're on the basketball team, Freddie? That's awesome. Rock on. I did a little bit of that when I was younger. I did basketball for a little while. Swimming was my main sport when I was in high school, though. I was a swimmer. That was my big thing. I was good at that. Not so much basketball, though. So maybe you're better at basketball than I am. Silver Princess throwing $5 out there. Thank you, Silver Princess. Roman is the strongest Ghostface. I'm staying. Wow, I appreciate the support. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for hanging out with us. It really does mean a lot. It's always an honor, let me tell you. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your awesome video where you fixed Scream 7. So I appreciate that. The healing process has really begun for me, and that video helped out quite a bit. So thank you, my friend. Jord is saying 2026 is the #1 year for movies and shows for real. Lots of really good stuff coming out this year, man. Oh my God. Really excited. I know the Marvel fans are hyped up. We got a new Spider-Man coming out, which the trailer actually looks pretty good and looks like legitimate Spider-Man and not Iron Boy. So I'm excited for that. Avengers Doomsday, I have to admit I am kind of excited for. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. coming back. That's going to be fun. Bring it on. Let's see what happens. We'll see. I got to admit, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, but I'll see it. We'll see what happens with it, and hopefully it's fun. I'm trying to think what else. Just in terms of horror, I know there's a lot of really cool shit coming out this year. Evil Dead Burn, I can't stress enough how excited I am for that. The last, every Evil Dead thing has been great in some way, shape, or form. So I've just been really enjoying this little Evil Dead revival we're going through. Bring on Burn, bring on Wrath. We got 2 movies on the way, baby. I can't wait. Really excited for Insidious Part 6. I'm really excited for Obsession, which is coming out in a couple of months here. It's getting rave reviews out of South by Southwest. I think that might be, that could be horror movie of the year, based on some of the things we're hearing about it. So really excited for that. The Mummy got some bad press. I don't know why. I think the trailer looks amazing. I really think this is going to be a fun watch. Cannot wait for that. Definitely excited to see what creepy things are going on there. But I don't know. I could go on and on and on. One other thing I haven't talked about too much on the page, though, is Return of the Living Dead. We're getting a new one of those movies come this Thanksgiving. Just got a release date for it recently. Really excited for that. We got a trailer for it back in 2024. It's been that long since they've been teasing this movie. It got delayed. It was supposed to come out last December. Now it's not coming out until this November. So it's been a long time coming, but that first trailer was very promising. It's Tarman with icicles hanging down from him, and he's dragging a bag of presents across the graveyard. It is super moody, super interesting, just kind of teases that there's more coming, but not too much about what the film is actually going to be about outside of a Christmas movie with zombies. I can't wait. I'm even wearing my Return of the Living Dead shirt. That's how excited I am for it. Oh, bring on more Return of the Living Dead, baby. Been a long time since we got one of those. I didn't even go through puberty yet. How about them apples? Oh man, but yeah, I am really excited for it. It's gonna be fun. Peyton is saying, if you could have James Wan come back to direct one of his popular franchises, what would it be? For me, The Conjuring, Saw X was good. So Faith for 11 and Insidious 6, I need to see the proof for a revival. What would I want to see James Wan do more of? Oh, that is a really good question. I think, honestly, the only reason I'm not going to say The Conjuring, because I think that would be my answer, I feel like James Wan ghost directed that last one. Can I be honest? I have no way of proving that. I have no way of proving that, but after seeing The Conjuring Last Rites, I'm like, that movie was significantly better than everything else that Michael Chaves directed from this series, man. I don't know. I think James Wan ghost directed that. Can I be honest? James is all over that movie too. Like, he's in it, crazy, lots of promotion for it too. I think he ghost directed it. That's my put on your tinfoil hat. No way of proving that, like I said, but I think James might have been behind the kind of a Steven Spielberg to or what is it? Steven Spielberg to Poltergeist kind of situation. But that's just my crazy conspiracy theory. There's also a shot in that movie that like is a James Wan shot. And if you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking. James Wan loves to do these crazy transitions or these crazy camera movements that are like, what is even going on right now? And if you've seen the Saw movies, if you've seen Dead Silence, if you've seen Malignant, you know what I'm talking about. And there's one of those towards the end of The Conjuring Last Rites, and my God, do I love it. So my crazy conspiracy theory, James Wan directed that last Conjuring. So I feel like we've kind of gotten that. We've kind of gotten that movie from him again now. We technically Not really, but technically, sure, maybe, conspiracy theory. 3 Conjuring movies he's directed. I think I really want to see him do another Saw movie at this point, because he really has only directed a single Saw movie, even though a lot of that franchise has carried his energy through those movies. Hearing him talk about the Saw franchise recently, I think was really interesting. He's talking about, what changed in the series beyond the original, and how, Jigsaw was supposed to be a little more enigmatic, and where he kind of became a little more personal as the series went along. He wants to get back to, Jigsaw being this shadowy figure in the background kind of energy. It's more about the scares, less about the, torture and traps and all that. And I think that's actually kind of interesting. I'm open-minded to seeing what James does with Saw 11. I want the Saw X sequel, maybe more, if I'm being honest, but I'm open-minded to see what James does with it. And I really do think it's still going to be a good product, just not necessarily what I want next. I kind of want them to wrap up the Saw X storyline, like do a little trilogy, do a Saw X 11 and 12, do that little prequel story with John Kramer, then move on to something else. I'd be fine with that. I'd be totally fine with that. I don't think that's what they're going to do. But I'm very excited to see what comes next from Saw. So they're teasing some new big project. Bring it on. That's what I say. So that's going to be my answer for now. Ty Lee is saying, I finally watched Silent Night, Deadly Night and really enjoyed it. That movie was so much fun. Nearly made it to my top 10 from last year. Definitely one of the best slashers of 2025, without a doubt. Kind of a drought for slashers, can I just say? Not a whole lot of good slashers came out last year. A lot of misses, at least for me. Silent Night, Deadly Night was like diamond in the rough. That and Black Phone 2, I feel like were pretty solid. Still kind of pale in comparison to things that came in the years prior. Like the most recent Terrifier films and In a Violent Nature, like the X trilogy. All of those were probably some of my favorites of this decade so far in terms of slasher films. Silver Princess, thank you for the 10. Really appreciate your support. Off topic, I am already getting knee, shoulder, and back problems after 13 years in the Army. I'm currently 33. I was going to stay till 55, but I think I'm tapping out in 7 more years. You do you, boo. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. It's I have some friends who are, military, and it's a lot, I hear. I come from a military family as well, so I'm very, very passionate about that. I understand that it's tough. It's not always easy. So I know a lot of my, friends and family have talked about how difficult it is to be doing that for a long time. So I get it. But do what you got to do. Do what's best for you. I really think that's it's an important thing that maybe not too many people are thinking about right now, which is a kind of a shame. But if you got to get out of there, get out of there. It's okay. There's no shame in that if you gotta make that happen. So do your thing and do what you got to do. King Bull 90s is saying, I hope they release a director's cut of Scream 7 and the original ending on DVD. It will set up perfectly for Scream 8. I don't see any other way out. They annoyed the fans with that shit ending. I don't know. I don't think I don't think they'll do that, because I just know the way that they talked about it and saying that, we tested it, we did a test audience screening of it, and then they hated it. They did not like the idea that the implication that Stu could have been alive. I don't know, man. Is that even true? I don't know. I hope they feature it as an alternate ending. I agree on the DVD. I don't know if they're actually going to do anything with it, though, sadly, which is a shame. I would love to see it, though. I would love to see what that could have been, and maybe that makes me feel better about the movie. That's what I'll say. But Stu should be alive at this point. That's just how. If you're going to go through all that trouble of teasing him in the marketing and doing this and that, just have him be alive. Who cares? Who cares at this point, man? You're gonna put us through all that trouble and not bring him back? Insane. What else is happening here? Only 1 to 2 kills on Black Phone 2. Yeah, but Black Phone 2 was vibey as hell. I mean, if you're just looking for kills, I see being disappointed in that one. I think some of the emotional stuff in Black Phone 2 didn't really work for me. I don't know, the vibes alone kept me invested in Black Phone 2. I was a little disappointed in terms of what they did with the characters. Felt like they didn't have everybody figured out, I feel. They're trying to kind of just do the same things as the original movie, and it's like, these are different characters now, like go down some different directions. But I really loved the look and feel. The grabber, Ethan Hawke is just so terrifying in that movie. You kind of got to give some love to him for that. I love the dream sequences. I love the Freddy Krueger inspiration. I do understand being, again, I can't stress this enough. I do understand being disappointed by Black Phone 2. I walked out a little underwhelmed. I was kind of like, I wish they would have done more with that. I wish they would have done more with that. But the vibes, some of the performances, especially Ethan Hawke, thought were pretty damn fantastic. So I lean towards liking that one. It didn't blow me away like how I thought it was going to, though. But it was solid. Jill or Stu should have returned in Scream 7. It was the 30th anniversary, and they have never brought a Ghostface back. They are the only two that could have survived due to the movie rules that they messed up. Honestly, as much as I, like, at this point, I'm kind of hell-bent on Stu coming back after that last movie, I feel like there's more story with Jill. Like, I feel like there's genuinely more they could do with this character. I brought up this point in the video recently that it's like, Jill is kind of one of those characters who is super ahead of her time. I mean, literally influenced an entire subgenre of horror that is really only popular now in the 2020s. This idea of influencer horror and kind of, making it a big thing. I feel like Spree was really like the first like big one, you know what I mean? Like outside of Scream 4, like that was the first one I remember hearing about. And then beyond that, you have movies like oh my God, like the Influencer franchise, which is actually really good, like surprisingly good. Deadstream is pretty damn fantastic. Sissy over on Shudder. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of bad ones. Don't get me wrong, a lot of bad influencer horror, but you would have none of these things without Jill from Scream 4. Like, without a doubt in my mind, you would not have these things without that movie. So I feel like there's a lot you could say with Jill now that that's become such a big, kind of staple in horror. Feel like Jill would be the one that I could see genuinely doing some more like meta horror commentary with in a future Scream movie. We have George saying, what's your opinion on the Hard Eyes film last year? Would you like a sequel or nah? I would like a sequel. I wasn't blown away by Hard Eyes, I have to admit. I think there are elements of it that are great and franchise-worthy. Like, I think the killer is super iconic. I think some of the kills in that movie are great. The cast is really good, too. I mean, I really like Mason Gooding and Olivia Holt. They have some pretty good energy together, some nice chemistry, too. The killer reveal is just super lackluster, and I get the movie was more of a horror comedy, like kind of making fun of rom-coms and whatnot. It was a rom-com with a slasher, and I get it. Like, I get what they were trying to do. I just wish if you were going to set this up like a Scream movie, a murder mystery, that the mystery was a little stronger. It was like kind of just played for laughs. It was kind of just like one big joke, and it's like, that's no fun, Give us a good mystery. Come on now. So I kind of wished, I was kind of hoping that maybe Hard Eyes would give us a stronger murder mystery. I think the sequel can do that, though. I think the sequel is in a rare position where there's potential there. You know what I mean? There's franchise potential for that to be something. And I think whatever the sequel ends up being, which is happening, by the way, it is moving forward, that has potential to do something, do something maybe better than the original. And when a sequel does that, people pay attention. So I would love for that to happen, personally. That would be really awesome. I got a lot of faith in Hard Eyes, too. Blaze is hanging out with us saying, I think after Scream 7, I think bringing Stu back would be too much. This is coming from a person who was on the Stu train since Scream 6. I see where you're coming from. I think maybe it might just be like, okay, we kind of shot our load with the whole Stu thing in the last movie, but I still feel like fans got cheated. So I'm still going to talk about it. I think that's the big thing. If they actually do it, probably not, but I'm going to talk about it because I hope that the people who want the Stu coming back thing to happen, I hope they get some sort of satisfaction from this franchise at some point. I feel like a lot of y'all got cheated with that last movie, and that bums me out. It's not what franchises should do. Franchises should, at this point in the game, celebrate your fans. You know what I mean? Give them what they want. Give the people what they want, damn it. Favorite kill in Ready or Not 2? Mine was the Wi-Fi kid. Chills Films, that is a great choice. That was really funny. Man, I'm trying to think what my favorite kill was. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of people exploding in the blood, specifically. I think just the gauntlet at the end. Can I be honest? I know maybe that's kind of boring, but that was a lot of blood. That's not boring. I don't care what anyone says. That was a lot of blood. That was a lot of whoa, holy shit. The guy from the studio being in this movie too was awesome. That guy is so funny. That guy plays such a great dick. Love that. Wi-Fi Kid was very funny though, I have to admit. But just that whole ending sequence I thought was really like, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty bloody and brutal. I really enjoyed Ready or Not too. It was fun. Oh, Erica hasn't seen it. Fuck, I'm so sorry. Ah, shit. I should have said spoilers. I just read that. I'm so sorry, Erica. Gauntlet. Who knows what that means? That could mean anything. The Goblet of Fire. That's what I'm talking about. Harry Potter 4. Yeah, that's the same word that I just used. King Bull 90s is saying Jill and Stu are my favorite ghost faces, and it's possible they survived, but we might never see them back. Unfortunately, they just teased us with the Stu returning just to let us all down. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I'm still bummed about it, dude. But you know, I think that there is hope for the future. I think again, you know, the studio's not completely stupid. I think they know that moving into whatever comes next, they have to kind of lower the budget. They kind of maybe have to start fresh again. They spent a lot of money on those rights, and they are going to do more with it. I mean, look at what just happened with Jurassic World Rebirth. You know, Rebirth kind of cleaned house. No more legacy characters, really. A bunch of new cast, and I'm sure that cast was still expensive, but nowhere near as expensive as Dominion. And I think that movie still pulled in almost $1 billion, right? I mean, despite the quality, it was, at least in my opinion, I thought Rebirth it's probably my favorite world film, which I'm very much so in the minority there. I know, I don't even care. I really enjoyed that film. I thought it was a lot of fun. What did that movie make? Okay, so it had a $180 to $225 million budget, $869 million. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting another one of those, but it did make bank. It's a Jurassic film. It made bank, you know? I wonder if we're going to get another one. That's interesting. But they cleaned house for part 4, you know, for their Jurassic World 4, essentially. And I imagine the same thing is likely going to happen moving into whatever Scream 8 is going to be. I doubt that we get the legacy characters more than just a cameo. Because, again, you can't make a 55, 65, whatever $million Scream film. I mean, that's just not going to make money at this point, especially after the reviews were so poor for the last one. So that's something that I've been thinking about lately. I'm curious what they're going to do. Like, how are they going to, you know, completely clean house? Yeah, Erica, you're going to have to ban me from my own stream. I'm supposed to ban spoilery people, so am I allowed to ban you from your own channel? Yeah, I guess so. I'm banned, guys. Sorry. Yeah, y'all can just hang out in the chat. I'll go sit in the corner and be sad. Which reveal was better? I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 or Scream 7? To be honest, I think I Know What You Did Last Summer was better because it did something that Scream wouldn't do, made a legacy character the killer. Oh man, I mean that's rough. You know, I think I'm only leaning towards Scream 7 because like it just, at least that killer, I can't even say that. I can't even say that the Scream 7 killers make more sense. I just feel like I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. It was one of those things where I feel like they just made the legacy character the killer because it was something Scream would never do. Not because it actually worked within the confines of their franchise. Like, there is nothing about where the last movie left off, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, that would bring this character to become a killer all these years later. Like, it's the cause and effect there is non-existent. And I know that they were going to make Ray, right? That's his name? I always forget from I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know they were going to make him a killer in an alternate version of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I imagine that's where that idea got pulled from. But it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. There was not enough setup with this character to make that happen. So I don't know. I don't know which one frustrated me more. At least Scream 7 had original ghost faces, you know? Like, I feel like they're total failed attempts at killers, but at least it, like, I don't know, at least it tried to build some new kinds of killer characters at the very least. I weirdly I understand where both of these franchises are coming from with their reveals and their twists. But neither of them work. Neither of them work for kind of different reasons entirely. So it's kind of a tough thing to say which one I prefer there, if I'm being honest. Both of them have a very big problem that kind of renders their movies pointless. Freddie is saying you like the Terrifier movies, or bro. I love the Terrifier movies. Yes, 100%. I've had tons of people from the Terrifier franchise on the page. We have talked Terrifier so many times on this channel. It's just kind of there's just nothing going on with Terrifier right now. Like, the script has been being written for like 8 months. There's no other updates besides that. Like, there's just not a whole lot to talk about regarding Terrifier. When things do start to pick up, though, which we're hearing from Damien Leone that he wants to, pre-production and maybe production to start soon. Sounds like spring, end of spring, maybe early summer is when we start to really get going on Terrifier. The channel's gonna become Terrifier Central again. It's been a lot of Scream talk last couple of years, but really hoping to get into some Terrifier energy here soon. I'm very excited to talk about that one again. I cannot wait for Terrifier 4. I really hope it's good. Can't wait to see what Damien's got cooking up there for sure. Jord is saying, have you ever seen that movie Totally Killer? Recently saw it pop up on Prime Video, might watch. Give it a watch. I know a lot of people like it. It really did not do it for me. I was not crazy about it personally. But I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. I think my big thing is when I was watching it, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, this is literally the same movie as The Final Girls, which is another film that came out like couple years, maybe almost like a decade prior. It's the same exact movie. I mean, nearly the same thing, just a little, just not executed as well, in my opinion. If you haven't seen The Final Girls, I highly recommend it. It's a really fun movie. It doesn't get talked about as much anymore, and I think simply because it's older. Totally Killer is essentially the new version of that. And I think that's why I didn't like it. The whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this is the same plot as that movie. This is the same plot of a movie I've already seen before. So that was a little disappointing. And we also actually heard from the director of The Final Girls, who basically called it like a copy of his own movie. And it's just like, that kind of sucks. That really sucks, bro. So it's hard for me to support that film, knowing all of that, knowing that it is kind of a blatant copy. So I don't know. Give the original a watch is what I'll say. Try that one out first. Is it just me, or does it feel like that Terrifier 4 is not going to be the last Terrifier movie, maybe with Leone, but I feel like Terrifier 4 is going to make bank because of how big the franchise is now? I mean, even the actors behind the franchise are saying that, basically, at this point. I think that Damien is going to end the main timeline of Terrifier with Part 4, and then maybe hands it off to somebody else. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility. Art the Clown could have had plenty of other adventures before all of this happens too. If a lot of my theories are true, which I think that he's that same killer from the 90s who buried kids in the basement of that house, like the demolition workers were talking about. There's no way that little story was just pointless and nothing. That's got to mean something. That's a thread, baby, and I'm following it. I'm pulling the bad boy back to its origin. That's got to be something. I feel like we could do a whole sequel, like a prequel storyline, you know what I mean? Maybe like a throwback thing. It takes place in the 90s. Art the Clown run around killing people. I mean, there's so many different things you could throw Art the Clown at. All new Final Girls, all new characters. Maybe something that feels more in line to the original Terrifier, which is something that a lot of fans really want to see again. People really like when Art the Clown is more brutal and, kind of bests whoever the main character is. People really liked that energy of the original Terrifier. I think it kind of lacks a story, in my opinion. I personally prefer parts 2 and 3, but I think you could build a story around a whole other final girl who, maybe went after Art the Clown and failed before Sienna Shaw did, before, Tara and Dawn did in the original Terrifier. I think there's a whole thing that you could do there, I think, for sure. Just a whole new storyline set in the 90s. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. That's where I would go with it personally. If I was like a newcomer to that franchise, like just have Art the Clown do some other crazy bullshit. Why not? Damien Leone is kind of your producer, creative consultant kind of thing. Maybe helping out with the special effects, I know Damien wants to go off and do his own thing, though. I've heard him talk quite a few times about having some sort of Ghost House Pictures project in the works, which is, of course, Sam Raimi's company. He's working with them on something. I know he wanted to do that before Terrifier 4 came out, and I don't know if that's going to be the case now. I think they want to get moving on Terrifier 4. So I think for sure Terrifier 4 is going to shoot this year. I think that is absolutely the plan based on what I'm hearing. So I think T4 is going to be next up for him, but after that, we're like moving on to something else. I'm sure Terrifier will continue, though. I cannot stress that enough. I think we'll definitely get more of those films. It's way too popular now. Art the Clown is like one of the most popular new horror icons. No way he's going away anytime soon. I love the Final Girls love in the chat right now. Thank you so much for that. I bring this movie up all the time and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that movie before. And I'm like, oh, Everyone talks about Totally Killer. No one's seen The Final Girls, and that makes me so sad. So this makes me happy, though. This is great. This is wonderful. Please watch that movie. It's a lot of fun. Jord is saying, I know you love horror, but did you hear about the upcoming DC comic horror film Clayface? I want to learn more about that. I just don't know anything about Clayface as a character, but I've heard very good things, a lot of promising things. I think maybe Mike Flanagan was attached to that at one point, or maybe still is. I haven't really read up on it at all, but it is something that interests me in terms of concept, so I will definitely check it out a little more in depth at some point for sure. There's so much good stuff coming out this year, dude. I can't even keep up with it. I mean, it's insane. There's a lot of good new movies, TV shows, whatnot. I mean, we got Crystal Lake coming up, the new Friday the 13th series later this year. Should be dropping sometime in November, maybe on a certain day, a certain Friday, a certain Friday the 13th, perhaps. I think I know when it's coming out, if I'm being honest. So I'm really, really excited for that. That's going to be fun. Got some new images from that recently, which was exciting. Don't know if you guys saw all those. It's Pamela holding a knife, which is crazy looking. It looks dope as fuck. So I'm really excited for that show. On top of a ton of other movies and whatnot. We're hearing that Welcome to Derry season 2 is getting moving on production, which is exciting as well. That's a continuation that I'm dying for after that really strong first season. Wow. Did not think that show was going to go as hard as it did. Really excited for that. Is Crystal Lake in December? I thought it was November. Maybe I'm crazy. I just saw someone say that. Crystal Lake show. I thought the Friday the 13th was in... Okay, I thought it was November, but maybe it is December. Interesting. I might be wrong about that. I know it's the end of the year, for sure. So I am really hyped about that. That's going to be fun. Yeah, definitely excited for this, though. You know, whenever it's coming out. Whatever time of the year it's coming out, I'm really excited for it. Scream 8 needs to be about a vigilante Ghostface. I would love that, Casper's eye socket. I was kind of pitching that about Scream 7 before it came out. I would love the idea of Sam Carpenter being that character. Almost like slipping into a Dexter role. We always find a way to bring it back to Dexter, guys. It always comes back to Dex. Flex and Dexon. But yeah, I would love something like that. That would be fun. Again, just a different way to look at Ghostface as a character. That would be awesome. What else do we got going on here? Erica is saying Jason versus Freddy is my favorite movie of both of those killers. You get a 2-for-1 and I'm always broke. So you're always looking for those 2-for-1s. I love that. I love Freddy. Dude, Freddy versus Jason is so much fun. I love that movie to death. It is a blast. It's just like, if you're a horror nerd to put this one on, it is so much fun. It's best of both worlds, like you were kind of talking about. I think that it hits on some things that I love about Nightmare. It hits on things I love about Freddy and Jason, just both. And I love coming back to it. I love coming back to that one. Some great kills in that movie too. I don't care if the special effects don't look great. And it's just coated with so much nostalgia, at least for me. That was like the midnight movie, like when we were kids. It was like, oh, you want to put on Freddy versus Jason? It's the scariest one. It's not really the scariest one, but man, as kids, it's all we talked about. It was like, oh, it's both of the scariest icons in the same movie. Let's put it on, Oh man, I remember those sleepovers fondly. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about now. Apologies for the self-promotion, but Erica has put some really interesting links out in the chat, guys. You can currently check out the latest episode of the Dexter Rewatch that's public, Season 1, Episode 3. Make sure to catch up on that series. We're getting into Episodes 4, 5, and 6 this week. It's going to be really fun. I'm recording my Episode 5 and 6 review tomorrow, and those will come out later on in the week. But really excited for you guys to see those. Episode 4 is currently out now for channel members, and the uncut version is up on Patreon. So if you want to watch that, go check it out. Lots of fun stuff there. So give that a watch. Loving this new series. It's great. And also, I put out a new video today ranking all 8 of the Radio Silence directed films. I did not put the movies that they produced on there. I don't even know how I would rank those because some of those are weird. I don't even know how I would rank the rest of those. But also you throw like VHS 94 in there and like, man, my list, I love VHS 94. I don't know if I could put that anywhere else except the top, you know? I think it would fuck up the list if I put the movies they produced on there, and like they didn't really, you know, they didn't really have too much of a say on those films. They're just they're executive producing, I think, on a lot of those. So I just did the 8 Radio Silence directed films. And it was really fun to go through that list. I think I found some, you know, revelations about how I feel about these movies through doing that. There's one thing I regret about it. That's all I'll say. There's one movie that I'm like, I should have put that a little higher. Now that I'm in retrospect thinking about it, but go give it a watch. It's a fun video. It's nearly 20 minutes long. You know, worked my ass off on it today to make it real special and fun. And it's got some nice little gags in there too. So give it a watch. It's a fun one. Can you rank the Scream movies from 1 through 10? Girl, what? I ranked the Scream movies though. I ranked all 7 of them. I ranked the 7 Scream movies back when 7 came out. When did I post that video? That came out 3 weeks ago. All 7 Scream movies ranked, and I even talked about them with spoilers too. So go watch that one. It's a good one. Anyways, let's get back to the chat here. My lineup for the Scream films, you're ranking those. Let's see it. Yours is 1, 4, 2, 3, 6, 5, 7. Totally fair. At least, you know, 1, 4, and 2 are in the top couple spots there. That's where you and I can agree. I love that. The recent Scream movie is definitely the worst, unfortunately. Yeah, sadly, I agree. That kind of bums me out. I wish that wasn't the case, though. Look at that. Erica's even throwing the link out. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate that. It's a fun video. Give it a watch. It's Mike Matthews saying, just saw Ready or Not 2 and honestly had more fun than the first. Hell yeah, dude. Rock on. Rock on. Ready or Not 2, I think, because of the cast, I think you could see it as it's totally being more fun than the original. I can't even argue with that. I think I like the story of the original movie better. And I won't dive too much into it because Erica has not seen it yet, who's hanging out with us. I think some of y'all haven't seen it either. But I thought it was a really solid sequel. I think it was really fun and really brutal. You know, and that's really all I can ask from a movie like that. It's got, again, the cast members make that movie, and I cannot stress that enough. Everybody is firing on all cylinders. Sean Hannity, Elijah Wood, David Cronenberg, Catherine Newton, Samara Weaving. There's so many, Sarah Michelle Gellar, so many great names in this movie, and everybody is so good. Even some of the other side characters, like people I didn't recognize, were really good in that movie, and I can't think of the actress's name. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like, dude, I feel like Melissa Barrera was totally supposed to be in this role. I'm trying to remember who it was. Maya J, maybe, is what her real name is, the actress. I might be mispronouncing that. She was great in this movie, by the way. She was awesome, and I really feel she was very over the top, very like just totally insane kind of vibes. Kevin Durand has a small role in this movie, which is great. Olivia Chang is good too. Nestor Carbonell, he's got some funny moments. It was a really solid movie though. I really enjoyed it. Again, you know, the plot maybe not as strong as the original, but the funny moments across the board and how strong the cast was, it just made me really love the film. King Bull 90s is saying in Scream 8 they should step it up and have Ghostface versus Ghostface fighting over who goes after Sydney. That would be sick. I would love the idea of Ghostfaces working against each other at the same time. Like, I think that would be a lot of fun. Ghostfaces who are both trying to score the kill, you know, it's kind of like you versus me versus them kind of energy. I don't know. I totally would love that. I would love to see a scenario where that works. What's your favorite thing to do in life, bro? Says Freddie. This. I love, it's been my dream to have a YouTube channel since I was a kid. I'm so thankful that I get to do this crazy shit. It is I don't know. I wake up every day super excited to get into it and do all this nutty shit. I've been watching YouTube since I was very young, and I knew since I was a young kid that I wanted to do this. I remember my cousins were babysitting me and they were showing me YouTube videos, and I'm just like, that's what I want to do with my life. I knew then and there at like 10 years old or 8 or 9. I can't even remember, but I just remember being like, dude, yeah, dude, yeah, this is what I want to do. So since I was a kid, I've been wanting to make all this happen. So it's been really fun. Really fun little journey the last almost 7 years. 7 years in September. How about them apples, right? Isn't that crazy? Been on YouTube for that long. Erica's saying, well, I wake up excited to come hang here. Work sucks, so this is always a fun escape. Love this community. Well, that's wonderful, Erica. I'm glad that you have some, you have something fun here. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's another thing that's great about doing all this is entertaining people. You know what I mean? Just giving people a distraction from the bullshit of life. Because I think that's another really satisfying part of all this, at least for me. Jordan is saying, I think Scream 8 should have Ghostface just hunt every legacy character besides the sisters and Chad and Mindy and succeeds to open the franchise for a fresh start and maybe get some kind of Kirby show. We've been talking, this has been a rumor for a long time that Kirby was going to get her own spin-off show. I hope they fucking do this. This would be awesome. Kirby Reed, great character. Would love to see more from her in the future. I think they could do more with her if she was the focus of something. Yeah, so many people didn't like her in 6 just being this FBI agent, but I truly believe that if we had like a whole show just building up this character, we'd get something really special there. Just a little more of a focus on her own personal struggles amidst the Ghostface thing. That would be awesome. That would be really fun. So I really hope that we get that at some point. Just keeping my fingers crossed, man. That would be so fun. Oh. We need entertainment to help us get over all the shit that's happening right now. Yeah, I feel that, King Bull 90s. I feel that big time. Blaze is saying they should make a Kirby movie. I wouldn't be against that either, dude. Wouldn't be against that either. I love Kirby. I think Hayden Panettiere could lead a movie. You know, I've seen her in lead roles for a bunch of stuff, but for a Scream movie, that would be really special in my opinion. I think that would be really cool. See this side character kind of turn into something else. That'd be awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I think I'm going to be signing off for the night. But sorry, no games. I know we usually do games, but no games. We will be doing some we'll be doing some more games probably tomorrow night. I already talked with some of our friends who like the game with us. We'll be doing some of that, which is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. But definitely stop on by tomorrow. We'll have some more streams then. We'll be talking more horror. It's going to be a good time. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. New videos tomorrow. Check out the Dexter video at 3 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be great. And as always, everybody, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, Critical Overlord. Goodbye.